studio.
Oh my gosh, can you guys hear us?
15 minutes late, but Gratcast 129 is underway. Once again, I gotta thank a 10-year-old on YouTube for saving the day. For whatever reason.
They're geniuses. They're all geniuses.
Between last week and this week, our audio stopped recognizing in the Streamlabs OBS. And it just would not recognize the microphones. The computer recognized the microphones, but it wouldn't recognize the microphones. And some kid on YouTube gave us the idea to add another audio input, basically duplicating the audio input we've been using for the last 40 episodes. And that fixed the issue.
Yay!
Now we're off and running. So let's see what happens here.
Yes. So what is on for today's schedule?
I'm back from Buffalo, in case you guys did notice.
Yeah, he's here. He's not in a little box.
Yep, I'm here. We sorted out our boxes too. Unfortunately, last week that was our first time using double boxes, and we didn't make our boxes big enough for both guests to be able to see there. I don't know if anyone watched last week, but I had my Twitter handle across my face.
I kind of think it was because he was sitting close. If he would have backed up, it would have made the perspective work. But
a bigger box would have helped. So we've got bigger boxes now if we have a situation where we've got double guests. We've got Conscious 716 joining us here shortly.
woo!
And if anyone else wants to jump in the show while he's in the show, we can facilitate that now, dear.
How about I show you how? You can join the show
Yep, keep that up there.
on gridfam.com/Gratwick.
So
You can call on in, and we will hopefully pay attention, because it doesn't give us a notification noise. Even nicer. So we don't know when, ding, someone's calling in.
one of the people I met while I was back in Buffalo last week was Conscious 716, other words known as Brett Prusinski. Great kid, awesome. I'm super excited. Well, I'm freaking, dude, I got a gray beard here now. Everybody's kid when the gray beards are talking. So, awesome dude, completely inspirational, and such a positive attitude. I love this guy. We had a couple beers, hung out at the Buffalo Brew Pub, got to know each other, talked about the roads traveled as artists, and he's excited about what we're trying to do with Buffalo, and I'm excited about what he's trying to do as both a filmmaker and as a musician. So we're crossing paths and combining powers.
Fantastic. Looking forward to talking to him here in just a few minutes, unless...
We
did start late, and no one's really... They don't want to talk to us. They can talk to us during the Discord
section.
We've
got some Gratcast or Gratwick stuff to talk about that happened in Buffalo. We added some new sponsors into the party.
Yes, we did. Who's our big new sponsor, Chris?
We've got the Bat and Pure Still are going to be supplying the alcoholic beverages for the event.
Yeah, baby!
Most importantly, because this is all about creativity and artists, my sister designed and created, I'm talking chemical mixing here, the flavors of the Pure Still brands.
She had every part to do with it, actually, because she has marketing, too, so she was,
that was part of the
not
marketing.
Not just the flavor, but the actual font, the look of everything, the name of it, the bottle shape. She is awesome.
She had to...
ruling the world.
She had to design some marketable flavors, and it's delightful, and we're going to have a bunch of bottles of it.
And we have seen them in stores here in LA, too.
Oh, yeah, we did.
We were in the stores, I saw, I was like, that's your sister's thing, right? Took a picture, and she's like, yeah, we're bi-coastal. Yeah, they are.
Let's see. Tickets are going to go on sale for the Night to Inspire event next week.
The Night to Inspire event. When is that, Chris?
May 10th.
May 10th. Where is it at?
It's going to be at the World Tour Events facility in North Tonawanda, hometown and home of Gratwick, the old neighborhood. Right
next
down
to
the street.
Platter's Chocolates. Oh.
Have you heard that Platter's Chocolate does fondue spreads for events at the World Tour?
Oh, you know how nice that would be, everybody.
Yeah, folks.
But, you know, that would probably be one of those VIP ticket things, wouldn't it?
Ooh, yeah. The VIP tickets are definitely going to be the way to go. We're going to have a special... Well, we're going to have augmented reality experiences throughout the event. That's going to be part of how you register for the raffles and drawings. but there's going to be a special augmented reality opportunity in the VIP lounge.
Exclusive?
Yes.
Ooh, VIP exclusive.
For the pair of Buffalo Bills season tickets we're going to be raffling off at the event.
A pair of them, so you're not even sitting alone with a bunch of people you don't know. You can bring a friend.
Who's going alone every week? No way.
Someone who is a partier.
This is gonna be a great season to have season tickets, dear. The Bills are gonna be awesome this year. I think
I've been to a couple games. I wore a snowsuit.
Yeah, but they're gonna be good this year.
We're full snowsuit people.
It's much easier to watch a game in the snow and it's got some substance to it. And I think this year they're gonna make the playoffs. Next year they're gonna be Super Bowl contenders.
Wow, we're going back to the Super Bowl contenders. Hey, thank you, Heady Instruments. Sounds awesome. About the Super Bowl or about the event?
Hopefully he's literally talking about sounds awesome because the 7-year-old came in and saved the day here, so we got a little bit of balancing and all that. So I hope it will literally we sound awesome.
So just a little news about the tickets, though. How is that working? So the VIP are going to have the chance for the Buffalo tickets.
Yep.
And the possible platters, chocolate fondue, fountain deliciousness.
Some special appetizers.
Special appetizers.
Yeah.
This is all going to be on the second floor of the Whirlitz, sir.
Yes, it is.
And the first floor is going to be the general admission, a lot of the performances.
Our presentations, our performances, which we'll be talking about shortly. I don't want to break any surprises here. But the general admission will be free tickets. We want people to just come out, have a good time, learn more about what we're doing and what Gratcast's trying to build in the community. But because
about YA-WNY.
Because we have yes, and absolutely
and definitely about YA-WNY.
To support YA-WNY. Young audiences of Western New York, for anyone that isn't familiar with YA-WNY, we're saving the next generation from slipping through the cracks like crazy people like me.
Next generation. Because if you're already calling Brett a kid,
I would say
and we're talking the kids beneath Brett. So we're talking
in the early 20-something, so that's the current generation. They've already rock and rolling with their own inspiration. We've got to pay that forward now and get them young bucks coming up. So yeah, the general admission tickets are going to be free, but because there's limited space available and we want to fill this place up, it's going to be on a waiting list basis. So the ticket link will go live next week. All of our different pages and sponsors and all of that will have different codes, promo codes for it. You can either buy your VIP tickets and guarantee your place at the party.
Which is a lovely donation to YA-WNY.
Or
it is a donation.
Actually, it's not, dear, but thank you for making me have to clarify that on the air. The tickets will be going to the cost of the event, to run the event, so we can raise money for YA-WNY at the event.
Part of how it goes.
Yes, but it's not a donation to YA-WNY. It's going to cover the event expenses and all of that. So, moving on from that, the general admission tickets will be free, but they're going to be on a waiting list. You can buy your VIP tickets and guarantee your spot at the party. Or you can sign up for the general admission free tickets, and based on how many tickets and space are remaining after all the VIP tickets have sold, we'll be giving out the general admission tickets about a week before the event.
All right then.
Yes.
And it looks like Heady Instrumentals is a big fan of Contra 716.
Can't blame him?
Nope. Cannot blame him. Why would I?
Absolutely.
And that's a lovely little
So, Brett, if you're watching, it is time to call in. We're ready for you to jump in the show here a few minutes early, and we'll get it rolling.
Can I do his intro?
Well, we gotta wait till he calls in before you do the intro on him.
So excited.
Don't waste the intro. I know what we can do though, dear. It's been a while since we've
ice cream man's in the neighborhood.
Airstrike standing by.
Since we had an airstrike.
Who needs an airstrike?
Airstrike. We're just laying down some ground fire to clear out the space for Contra 716 to come in here and blow it up, dear. Now that we've cleared out the bogeys.
So anyway, Chris, what else have you done this week? Drinking some water.
What else have I done this week? We're starting to work on Paris Caliber's social media presence and that. She did a photo shoot. So we're polishing up some pictures and photos. She is one of the 2 performers that'll be performing at May 10th on the Night to Inspire event. This is going to be her first live performance. I am super excited for Paris. I think she's one of these songbirds that's just been waiting for an audience to hear her sing, and I'm excited to to help facilitate that.
Hi, Emily.
Facilitate that has been used multiple times in this Gratcast.
Facilitate her?
No,
her career path?
No, facilitate her performance.
There you go.
But I think that's more times than facilitate has ever been used in the history of all 128 episodes of Gratcast here.
That is very possible.
Oh, good
What
questions
time
here.
is the event?
The event starts at 7 p.m., but if you have a VIP ticket, you can arrive at 6:30 p.m. and walk the blue carpet. We're going to have the spotlights out there going all crazy up in the air, so like Buffalo, like miles away, we'll be able to know, uh-oh, that's the place to be. Edwards known as the P2B. Go ahead, pick that up, carry it on, use it as your own. We're going to get that rolling. Sooner or later, the P2B is going to catch on. But yeah, 6:30 p.m., we're going to go live from the carpet. We're going to have kind of a little Oscars-style arrival. As people arrive, roll up on the carpet, we're going to be asking them questions. Probably not what they're wearing. Nobody really cares what they're wearing, but unless they come that vintage Hollywood look that we're talking about.
Yeah. Yes. There is a desired attire. Not required, but desired.
And the event will go till 11 p.m. 8 o'clock is when we're going to introduce four different projects for the Western New York community. Creative projects, artistic projects, technology projects, real estate projects. Andrew, this package has everything you need in it. It's a starter kit for building a full empire of creativity, dear. An absolute starter kit.
So that happens, but then, once we're done with that,
roughly 9 p.m. 9 p.m. These are Eastern times. We're now spitting out here, folks. We fight the East Coast bias at all costs, but we will be on the East Coast at the night of the event. So it's going to be 9 p.m. It's about when the live performances should be happening. That'll be from 9 to 10. And then from 10 to 11, there's going to be all sorts of different giveaways for the online audience and crowd that are still watching. And we're still waiting to hammer out the details, but I'm hoping that a lot of the augmented reality opportunities that we're going to have at the event, we might be able to slip them into the live stream over the course of the night.
Ooh.
Possibly. That's my hope, dear.
But no ideas on how we would do that right off the bat.
I know exactly how we would do it right off the bat, but we have to make sure that our augmented reality friends that are going to be helping execute all that stuff has enough time and are going to be able to do that, and it'll work the way we want it to.
Well, it sounds like fun.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a good time.
Any minute now, Conscious 716 should be joining the show.
Maybe you text him and let him know that we are ready. Since we were running behind, he might not have known.
Oh, we did tell him to come
Give
in
us 15 minutes.
At 9:30 on the dot, East Coast time, 6:30 our time, which is about a minute away from here.
Oh, it's so exciting.
If I know him, he's probably hard at work, pumping out that link, sharing it all over, telling everybody he's about to jump on Gratcast. This is career-changing stuff here, folks, when you make an appearance on Gratcast. And Conscious 716 has a high bar to cross, because currently Paris is our #1 rated episode from the studio.
Yes. She did very well.
Oh, yeah. She's a draw.
She is, and she's got her new pictures. Very excited about that.
For sure. Killing some time here now. It's gonna get awkward.
So yeah, we're looking into more sponsors right now. Anyone, local businesses, regional businesses in Western New York that might want to be included in giving back to Lonnie.
Here we go.
And here is Conscious 716, and I...
Give him his intro. Give his intro. Oh, here he comes. There he is. And
Ta-da!
of course we now suddenly have an audio issue on this side, dear.
No way. Can you hear us? Let me see.
Okay. Dear, go into the settings there. And this worked literally 2 minutes ago when we had him call in for the test.
Oh, and we're thinking about it too. All right.
All right, you might have to call back in. I'm gonna refresh it here. I think I might have hit the problem. Can we hear you now?
Oh.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, we got
you. You hear us the whole time.
Dude,
all right. What's up, everybody?
I need to employ an army of 10-year-olds. I'm telling you, these guys know all the tricks.
Brett, wonderful to meet you. Welcome to the group.
Wonderful to meet you,
everybody.
Thanks for having me.
First of all, let's get this out of the way. Do you want to be called Brett or Conscious 716 for the duration of this interview?
Either or. You know, my following, calls me by both. Physically, I'm known as Conscious, but behind that, I'm Brett. So whatever they follow me as, whatever.
All right, we're gonna slip back and forth between them. I'm gonna work them all in.
All right, sounds good.
Let's start at the beginning. So the first path you chose was as a filmmaker, right?
Yeah. Well, when I was very young, I actually was super into just cameras in general. When I was really little kid, I got hold of my mom's camera, and I was just a little kid taking pictures and stuff like that. And then they ended up getting me those cameras that you would just take pictures, and they're like the Kodak ones. You go to the store to get them to develop, and so I take a whole bunch of pictures with them just to feel like I was doing something. And then eventually I got into actually taking a little bit more more pictures and stuff. And then what had happened was my buddy started making YouTube videos, and I found out what YouTube was, and it blew my mind. And so back in 2005, when YouTube first kind of really became a thing, I made my account, and I was making just random videos from slideshows to my narrations on news events and things like that. And I was just a little kid, and since then I was inspired by videos. And then from there I went to film school.
Hold up. Is the YouTube channel still your same primary YouTube channel today?
No, thank God. They're still out there. The videos are still out there, but people gotta, do some digging and they can find them.
You're not gonna make it easy for us, huh?
So you're not gonna tell us what the.
No, there's some embarrassing stuff out there.
Okay, so you went to film school. Where'd you go to film school?
Well, it wasn't really, I guess, necessarily film school. What it was is performing arts here in my city of Buffalo offered a video, TV, and film class, and so we got really hands-on in the a lab that had high-end equipment at the time. My first one in there was DV cameras, and then right after that it was we were on cameras.
Oh my God, that shit was terrible.
Yeah, it was a pain in the butt. From there, then we went to. Pretty much, the cameras that plug right into the computer, and you can import all the footage right off of that. And we were editing, started iMovie, Final Cut, and then at home I was just editing my own personal videos, and so that just kind of all came together for me from at that point.
So when you first start playing with cameras and all of that, was there a creator or an artist or somebody that kind of introduced you to that or inspired you or opened that door? Who was kind of your first artistic love?
That's a weird thing. I gotta say, it's just really it gotta be just inspiration from watching a ton of movies and stuff. And I just was super, as a kid, that was what I did. I watched a lot of action movies and a lot of old Scarface, Goodfellas, all that stuff like that. As a little kid, man, I'm telling you. So I was super into that stuff. And so as I got older and realized there was production behind that stuff and how it was getting made. And once I got my first computer, I just started really finding inspiration from the big things that were going out, because not a lot of people at the time in my friend group or even really around were making a lot of videos. I was one of the first people to start, and I was pulling people into being my videos at that point as I got older. But I would also say that just my mom and my dad being really supportive of me, and they also as I was a little kid just had a camera in my face from the moment I was a baby to now. So. That kind of got me pretty much, a warm welcome into that world.
You grew up at a great time with YouTube kind of rising up the same time to kind of introduce the world to actually making your own videos and stuff. Not to date myself, but coming up about a decade before you in Buffalo, there was no YouTube, there was nothing like that to really, hey, you can make your own videos, you can create your own content. It was just all about the story and the creativity. And it's awesome to see how much effect inspiring all sorts of different people that they can make their own content, what that's led to over the years and spiraled out from. So my big question for you is, where did the crossover happen? Where was the moment as a video creator and all of this videography? Did the music come into play that you thought, you know what, I can do music too?
Yeah, so well, I've always kind of been like someone that had my hand in a lot of different hats, and one of the things I did outside of, to even it relates into filmmaking as well as, I've always been someone that liked to write, and at the time I used to like to write, movie scripts and tell stories that way, but on the side I'd also write poetry. And it was just something I kept to myself, and still to this day, unless it was like a girlfriend or old girlfriend at the time, I never yeah, exactly. So you gotta be romantic. So pretty much after like that, I was always like into that, and music was always a big influence, like my way of outlet of just getting through my day, whether it was to and from school or work. At that point, music was my outlet. I'd go to bed listening to it. So with that, I just started, putting the two together at one point where I went through a breakup, and I was going through a lot of emotional stuff inside, and I was just like going through a tough time. And the way I kind of dealt with it was just at that point, like in between car rides, I was like going on YouTube or something, just listening to instrumentals, and on the way to and from work, just rapping in the car. And I was like, it can't be that much to get a little stupid mic, make something for myself. It'd be a fun little hobby no one needs to know about. And so I got like a microphone, and I started playing that in, and I was making like, some stupid little songs just here and there, covers of like, the exact same lyrics of the other artists and stuff, because I didn't really understand the bar scheme at that point. So I was just like making covers of other artists and trying to understand flow and all that, and then I started making my own stuff, like, that of course inspired me to write my own lyrics and get like just an instrumental offline and do something. And one of my close friends who actually started a photography and videography company business with, I've known him for like pretty much half my life. He heard the song, and it was just like, heard one of my songs on accident. He stumbled upon it, and was like, dude, this is actually pretty good, man. Like, I see potential, and it just needs better production and things like that, and like, we should do something with this. And he felt like the emotion behind it, and just seeing that was just like, I was putting it out there, and at that time, that kind of music was hitting off, and that's kind of where it went from there.
The part I want to pull out of that story that is huge is your friend's role. To not only have a business partner in that, but to just see it in the friend and want to pick up and jump in and be involved and help you take it to the next level. It's so important to have another balance on that as an artist coming up and trying to do everything. There's only so much you can do on your own without finding a partner, somebody behind the scenes that believes in what you're doing and wants to be involved in that. So kudos to your buddy, and that's awesome that you guys found each other at such a young age and have continued that through. So
yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, on that note, because as you say about it, man, I do have that same appreciation. I tell him all the time. But shout out to my buddy Josh. Not only do we run a photography company together, but he also has his own brand that's locally owned. For anyone that wants like fitness, active lifestyle brand, Evermore Athletics, just evermoreathletics.com. Pretty much everything's done here in Buffalo, and he has a sweet brand that's just starting right now. So I'm an ambassador for it, and just shout out to him, because without him, I wouldn't be where I was. He shot all my first videos, my photos. He helped me write some of my music, so shout out to him. And now we even have songs together at this point. Now that he's grown as a person as well, music's kind of entered his life as well.
That's awesome. Do you think he might want to sponsor a charity event?
Oh, hey, is your music producer? Is that him? Is that Josh? Is that his?
No, Hetty Instrumentals is actually my producer. That's actually my actual producer. Hetty is, so funny story with that is my daytime job, we ended up running into each other. So I know Hetty on a personal level. and I showed him some of the music I was making and some of the stuff I was doing. And at that point, I entered a event that was kind of like a showcase for artists to enter coast to coast. They hold events all pretty much internationally as far as artists that can submit their music to and then go perform in front of certain industry professionals and get like opinion on your music and stuff. So I told him I was doing that over there. What are you doing this week? And I told him I was doing that. And he was like, oh, I got to check your stuff out. Well, over the weekend, he decided he wanted, to start making beats. And the first 2-3 beats he sent over, like, I'm not going to say that they were amazing and perfect, but you see right off the bat that they were, like, assaulted, dude. And, like, I was growing at the same point, and I started recording to him, and we just, like, blossomed together. And so now we have over 20, 30, maybe 50 songs together, and, one mixtape already that's completely produced by him, and it's just awesome what we've grown to.
That's cool, man.
That's amazing.
I want to hear about your first performance. How did you set that up? How did that feel? What was it like walking on stage the first time?
God, oh man, I'll tell you what. Thinking about it, it's how there's certain things in your life you like think about, and you get that certain bubbly feeling and butterflies in it. Yeah. That's one of those times. So like I said, when I started this music thing, I am dead honest when I say, like, I didn't think it would be where I'm having logos behind me and doing podcasts, talk about it. It never was, like, something like that. It was just something that was a true passion to me, and I'm honored it relates to people. And so
it shows through in the music.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And so pretty much my buddy that actually got me into the music found that flyer on Facebook about that event and the showcase and to submit your music to it, and that there's only a certain amount of people that could qualify for the event for performance lineup reasons. So I submitted my music with a music video, and I ended up getting an email back saying that I won, or qualified. And so then they told me it was out in Toronto, and so we were skeptical if the thing was legit, but watching other videos, a lot of these other things were like a whole bunch of postings about it, so I was like, this seems pretty cool. So he, the same kid that introduced me to music, does everything else with me. Pretty much me and him got in the car and just drove 3-4 hours out to Toronto together, and I remember the night before, he got that slow. Well, we did get lost, dude. We at the time, our phones.
My ride was 9 minutes from Buffalo to Toronto.
Yeah, you can tell me messed up somewhere along those lines. So one of the things that happened is that right before then, exactly the night before, we had a family gathering for like a cousin's graduation party. Of course, my dad, being my dad, he's proud talking, my son's going to Toronto to perform. And so they're like, well, can you do it right now? Well, because I'm, religiously preparing for this event in my car, and that was the way I rehearsed, is to and from work, just playing the song I was performing, because you only had one song to perform at this event. I had the CD in my car. I got suckered into going to perform at this bar that we were holding this party at, and pretty much like everyone at the party made me feel like amazing about it, like a rock star. And gave me the confidence to, not bail out the next day and go out to Toronto. And so we went out to Toronto. That was a really amazing experience in itself. And then, the event, there was 10 top winners. There was probably like 40 participants in it. And I ranked, I think at the time it was like 17 on it. And I got some really good feedback. And it was about in front of 320 people. My first performance, it was like crazy to me, and I remember like just having butterflies, my palms being sweaty, just like that in that movie.
Man, that's nuts. That was your first performance. You decided to dive right in with a competition, come right out of the gate.
Yeah, man. It's just funny how things come together.
That's awesome. That is so cool. And so after that, what were your next steps? Like, you went and did it, and then you came back home, and was everyone like, well, that was it, or were they like pushing you to actually make event dates and be at other bars? Like at that bar, were they like, so next Saturday you'll be there? Like, how did that all go?
Thanks for asking. Yeah. So it was actually a cool experience a little bit, because after that, I won't lie, I was like super bummed out that I didn't hit for like, me, I'm just perfectionist. I'm super competitive also, and I was like, oh man, like I didn't hit first place. I was bummed. Yeah, and I was like, this is not like, I shouldn't do this, whatever. And I was like, that the bad guy talked to me, and well, the same friends that I have, I got a great support system personally, and that grew into what I have now online as well. But so anyhow, when I came back, they were like, man, that was just like the first performance, and there was like, how many people submitted? You qualified for that? How many people performed? You didn't do bad, man. That's great. And they like tell me, start working on like rehearsing and let's do some shows locally and see what you can do. And so there was a few different like opportunities with venues that I ran into some promoters at, and from there networked with them to get on some spots with. First, it was just like kind of one open mics or just like local talent based shows where we'd have to sell our own tickets to, and then I got on some spots with some touring acts that is like. Mark Battles, as well as MC Lars, Meg Ren, certain things like that. They came to Buffalo, and I was on those cards as well, and Huey Mac as well. So it was pretty much from there, just kind of got onto a different card, and then I had my headliner out in Niagara Falls, and we sold that out as well.
Very cool. So we have a question from one of our Discord people. And it is, how did you come up with the name Conscious 716? Like, what inspired the name?
I think I got a guess on the 716.
Well,
so I do get that a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that a lot. So pretty much, the Conscious name, when I was thinking of different names, I was, struggling with different names. I didn't want to be another little this or big that. And so I was like, I got to think of something here. And I was just like trying to find something that was unique and different for me. And for some reason, I wanted something that was like something to do with brain like mentality, because my songs, I knew I wanted to have certain things that people would relate to, and that's always on their thought process, even during a work day. Like, I don't care who you are, you can be the most productive person, but there's always certain things on the back end where you're like always still thinking about something on the side, like whether it's relationship problems, family problems, things like that. And so I wanted to talk about things that relate to people on those levels. And I was like thinking, it's always weighing our self-conscious, so I started like, that was one of the names I wrote down, was just Conscious. And there's some other names that was drafted up, and I sent the name over to one of my buddies who like helped me with the logo, and then he sent over that logo behind me. My big head's in the way. So pretty much, he sent me over the logo, and I just like at that point, it just like I seen more than just music with it. I seen like a brand behind it, and I just like I was like, yeah, that's it, man. I really love this, and so I took over, like I copyrighted the logo and trademarked it, and went from there.
Okay, question. Was that available on all of your websites, though? Like when you wanted to go to Facebook and to Twitter and to Instagram
that's
and
what the
email,
716
like,
helps.
Is that what?
Yes, yeah. So that is, of course, yeah. So that's why, as an artist, and all my music is, under the brand name Conscious, but on like social media and things like that for those purposes, because there's so many, different purposes with the name Conscious and other aspects of music. That name was taken right off the bat. So I had to incorporate the 716 so people could find me, and also show some, representation to my hometown. So
a little bit of community love.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a couple crossover questions here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there any experiences as a content creator and as a filmmaker that crossed over and helped you on the music industry side?
So like a photography, the video side to what I do now with the music.
Yes. Any of those initial experiences did they benefit you at all in your music career and what you're doing now?
Absolutely. All that knowledge of what I do, I'm pretty much everything content-wise, for the most part, is self-created in-house productions. And by that I mean not all done by me solely, but either with my touch on it at some point during that process, but if not by the crew, like I said, that we run with Lens Friends. So everything's done in-house with my team here. And that was all before my experience, doing photos for other people, all the experience I have from photography and videography and making videos and all that, and all the video editing and photo editing, transferred to this, because music, especially to make it and become a brand and get a following, you got to have, you know, that visual content just as much as the music behind it. And so they come hand in hand, and I'm thankful for that. And just the experiences of networking with people on the business side of things, and running the business on the photography, videography side, and meeting with clients and things like that, helped me bring the professionalism I need, I think, for the music side to make the connection I need to make.
So it's also going to be nice to be able to just throw down a music video anytime you need one, right?
Yeah. You know, as it's going on, you know, of course, things like budget and like crazy ideas come into play where you want to go bigger and bigger each time. So that always becomes a struggle, because eventually, you know, and we're not ready to do it. I love to outsource. I still do that, you know, from time to time for, you know, things I want that and, you know, need to do that for. But yeah, man, it's, you know, really great to at any moment notice to, you know, be able to make some content and, you know, do a photo shoot and have that knowledge, because there's so many people that, you know, I encourage, you know, other artists to at least try to not, you know, you don't have to put it out there, because, you know, that's, you know, for all the stuff I did, you know, it was all just practice. So, you know, just on the back end, you can still do whatever you guys are doing on the back end, but, you know, learn to mix and master your songs, learn how to do certain things. So, you know, even if you don't continue to do it on your own, you know what's right, what's wrong when you're, you know, working with other people.
So we have a question. Since you were just talking about knowing a lot of different things, but still being able to bring in your knowledge, have you ever wanted to try a different genre of music? Like, is that anything that you would be interested in? Like, some people, like, Eminem has had his ballads. There are country singers who go to pop. Like, is there anything where you would, like, possibly do a crossover, like, Boys to Men version where you have just a slow song album or something like that? Like, what else would you try if you were forced to try any other ones? What would you be willing to try?
Yeah, I'm super excited and to learn and develop in music. I feel like that's what the one thing that's cool about music is, like, I feel like everyone can put their own spin on, you know, their version of something, you know what I mean, and make it their, you know, their own thing. I mean, my biggest goal with certain music is, because I have such an open ear to the music I listen to, I try to contribute that in to what I'm making for my own music and try to blend all those styles into stuff I do now. I would super love to, like, make, on the back end, like, something more like a rock or like a country side of aspect of it. I do feel like I can, you know, do something in those genres and get in touch with people that are musicians in those genres and make something sweet with that. But yeah, I'm very open to collaborate and to test out different things. Like, that's what's great about music. It's limitless as far as what you can do. And, you know, especially in today's music, if you can stand up by any means by crossing over genres, I think that's, like, what, you know, you should be doing.
Have you ever had it where you were watching a movie and, like, as you're watching the scene, you have a song in your head that you've actually made where you're like, this would be perfect. Like, if they just approached me, I would give you my song. Put it right there. Like, it would make it even better. Have you, like, give us an example. Anything. Any show, like, what kind of... Yeah, tell me. Anything.
Yeah, well, I watch, like, you know, it's hard to come off, it's always, like, you know, you get things right on the tip of your tongue that come up and, like, name specific movies, but, like, I have that a lot, or even when I'm making the music, I'm like, I can see this for a certain scene, or, like, you know, like, for example, I'm working on this one song, and, like, it's not really necessarily a film aspect, but, like, I can see, I'm really inspired also by, like, you know, sports and, like, those highlight packages they make for people, or, you know, like, even the Rocky film would be a good example of what I'm talking about. Yeah, you know, in those the scenes where the guy's getting pumped up, like Rocky's workout scene and stuff like that. Like, well, you know, I can see myself, you know, when some of the songs I have, especially on this new project, that would fit that part, you know, in that scene. And, like, there's just other songs, I heard a lot of, you know, sappy love songs, so I can, you know, imagine a certain point where some, you know, a couple's going through a breakup, and my song fades into that for sure, you know. I watched, you know, a lot of different things, and that's always, like, one of my thought processes, and I've tried to, you know, find ways to connect, but it's such a who-you-know game, which mean, you know, you talked about as far as, it's like a who you know basis and getting your music in certain connections and that. But I'd love to have my music in certain films for sure.
Nice. So you've got 2 of the 3 of becoming a triple threat in place. Have you given any thought to acting?
Back when I was making the videos, because it was so sparse to find people that would be willing to be in the video and do the goofy things, there was a couple of videos that I was putting wigs on and I was being other people. I was, different characters for the video. And then even when I grew and was able to get etches, I was in certain videos. I don't consider myself a Leonardo DiCaprio, but I would love to step into that for sure. I think, that would just be full center with everything I'm doing to, cross over and just act in something like an actual film. And that would be an opportunity of a lifetime. I think the hardest part I'd have is remembering all the lines.
What about a music video? Like, would you do your own music video? Like, when you make a song and you start to think, like, when you're writing a song, do you kind of have a story in your head? If someone was making a video, this is what would be happening to explain what the song is about. Like, would you be one of the main characters, and would you be willing to do that kind of thing?
So that's interesting.
Think of like Michael Jackson.
It's kind of interesting to say that.
He was an actor and then he was a singer kind of thing. Like, would you be willing to be the actor also if the song is going on in the background kind of thing?
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting you say that. We have a project we have called Don't Call Me, and I worked with an artist out of California. She's a singer, and pretty much we did a song Don't Call Me, and for the video, because of her being in California, I wasn't able to actually have her in the video itself. So what we did at that point is I hired a model for the production, and my team shot the video for it, and it's completely without me performing any vocals at all, like lyrically wise. It's a story-based music video which follows the story of what the lyrics are in the song. And so that one will be kind of, I guess, my debut in that in 2019 as far as my acting career, because in that one,
that totally sounds
it's actually exciting.
No line roles as their big ones. That counts as a lead.
That was such a fun project because it was like being on both sides of the camera, because there's some shots I filmed and being in front of the camera, and just getting back there felt like good old days.
So that sets up my question perfectly. Which one really do you have more passion for? Do you feel more goosebumps when it happens? Owning the stage or owning your own set?
That's just a tough one, and that's something that I always inside beat myself up and go over. And I think that's probably some of the hardest things I'd say is finding and I guess like time management and prioritizing that, because I have such love for all of that, and that's like one thing I always run into myself. Like I always sit down and I'm like, Brett, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this, and how great would just one of these things be if you just did just this? And of course, when I started doing that, and I think in that level, something's pulling me back over here to give me a hint that I should still be doing this, and then something pops over here that, nope, you guys still be doing this. And so, yeah, man, it's just weird how it works. But yeah, I definitely, I always think like myself when I'm more passionate about it. I gotta say, like, I think now doing what I do, I love being like on the music side, because at this point I could do any of that with this brand I have. I could, I can start in like we just talked about it, I can make a music video into a little film, and nowadays that's becoming even increasingly more popular. I can interact with the audience and get to, change people's lives and interact with them and just network that way, and the part of the internet loves, and doing what we do now, allows you to be able to do a lot of that stuff. So I say, the perfect blend would be if I could, run my own brand and be able to do this full time. That would be awesome.
So it's time to reveal a big announcement. You're going to be performing.
Yes, please.
At the May 10th Night to Inspire event. You're going to be performing a set there. We're super excited to have you perform. What can we look forward to a conscious performance?
Yeah, I'm super excited for this. First off, this is going to be my first, and so far, the only performance I booked for this because I'm super supportive of the event and what it is. I took time off for performing right now to create new content, including the videos and the music and certain other aspects of the production side. So this will be my... Yeah, so this will be my first performance in 2019, and what's to look forward to with that is I'm super high energy on the stage. I love to interact with the crowd and try to make you guys as much part of what I'm doing as I can, as well as I got a ton of new music that I've never performed before, so it's going to be super exciting. And I hope to bring a lot of a variety, so, there's going to be some, slower stuff, faster stuff, and, in between, so... I'm super excited, and I can't wait for what's to come.
Do we need a smoke machine?
You better bring it, because I think we're going to make that place crazy.
So
we're going to do it all.
There's where the stage is going to be set up. There's a side room that actually is the green room that you're going to be using there. We actually could have the smoke machine right in that hallway, so you come out the hallway right into the main banquet room for the performance.
Like, walk in, yeah, that'd be sweet.
All right, do you know we can get our hands on a smoke machine?
I think we could find a smoke machine.
Absolutely, yeah, we'll find that for sure.
All right, so we've got a couple questions left. I think Andrew's got a couple.
No, I got mine already. I slipped them in.
All right.
Smooth line.
So the tickets for the event are going to go on sale next week. We're going to have a special conscious promo code for you to promote and share with your fans so they can all get a discount and show up to the event. We've got one last question for you that is kind of our special question that we ask at the end of each interview. Now, do you know when you signed up for Facebook originally?
Oh man, probably back in like when MySpace pretty much got killed. About that same year, I'd say probably like maybe 2004, maybe 2006, 7, like around that time.
It was 2009, and
2009. Okay, see, I'm bad with time then.
Do you know what your first Facebook post was? And it perfectly.
Oh God!
I'll give you a hint. It perfectly puts a button on the initial thing we were talking about. Uh-oh.
No!
He froze on us.
No! Uh-oh. We're going to refresh and see if that works. Oh, and of course, be on the big build-up right now.
He's gonna dodge the Facebook
But he has a very nice still frame. Look at that. Isn't that a cute smile? Tell you what, that is star right there.
I think he's calling back in. I think we lost him.
Think we're getting him again. Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. So, I'm going to refresh here. Come on.
One more time. Okay.
I'm going to
try one more time to call back and
call
refresh.
back in one more time. There we
Let's
go.
see.
I think it should work now.
It looks like it's trying.
Oh, no. What happened?
Well, now we have everyone waiting in anticipation here, but we also... Conscious716.com is where you guys can find his website. You can check out his schedule, his previous works. You can find him on Twitter at Conscious_716.
What a terrible ending to a great interview. I wanted to see...
I do want to put the Facebook
thing on. Absolutely,
we are definitely
Facebook
still
on
doing
there.
that, but... Oh.
It was going to be such a perfect button.
Evermore Athletics is his friend.com.
Because his first Facebook post was the YouTube channel that he said people were going to have to hunt down to find his early stuff.
New to Facebook, check out my YouTube to learn more about me. But is this the YouTube channel that doesn't exist, or is this the current one?
No, this is the first one he talked about that he was making stuff on originally.
Well, everybody,
that people would have to hunt down and find.
1994. There you go. If you want to see his early stuff, I'm going to take it away though. All right, we're trying one more time.
One more time to bring him back in.
Oh, let's go.
Hey! I don't know what happened there.
Woo!
So We just showed your first Facebook post.
Which is
Oh God! Oh no!
June 16th, 2009, and guess how you had it linked up? Through YouTube. That was how you did it the first time. So we have a super sneaky first time account on here though. Yankee 1994.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man!
Yeah, turns out it was your first Facebook post, so that worked out nicely.
Yeah, so that channel holds a lot of great embarrassing content.
Well, we're gonna
you see the evolution.
That's the evolution is the best part, man. And seeing the growth and all that for yourself and for the audience. If you watch First Timers, the first thing we did run around the streets of LA. It's a train wreck of cinematography, but the nuggets are there. You can see the ideas.
Yeah, from where it started, and that's what I love. I won't lie. Every time, now and then, I find myself. Maybe you guys could relate on this, but now and then, I just find myself watching my old stuff just to reminisce and get back in those minds of like where I was at that time.
I get a little more embarrassed when I see them. Because you can see that we were using like really old technology that at the time was like, woo, we have phones now with cameras.
But you know what? You get that's all part of the experience. That's what's cool. Like even in my own field, there's so much stuff. Even obviously different times and stuff. But just even that time from the DV tapes to this, and even back, I went to a film camp out in Oswego for a summer. I took a summer off and went there. That ended up being pretty crazy because they worked all the video that was done there was done with film. And so I got to process film and like to do any effects and stuff like that. We were like using markers to color on it and stuff. It was pretty cool because I got to see how it was all developed and everything.
So one of the guys who's on our board of directors for our company, did editing. Like he worked for one of the insurance companies that makes sure your movie gets finished. Like you have insurance, and if someone's sick or you're falling behind, they send in their professionals to make sure you get your deadlines so they can get their money back on time. He was working on on Prince. What's it called?
Purple Rain.
Purple Rain.
Oh, Purple Rain? Yeah.
Like they did all the taping for that concert where they had all the cameras set up, but his editors couldn't do what Prince wanted done. And so he just kept stalling out. So the insurance company sends in Warren. Warren gets to spend 2.5 weeks in the editing room with actual film and with Prince, just going over absolutely everything. And so he's totally learned 100% in the old school video, like film. You tape it together when you edit and everything.
Poor guy.
Super cool.
Poor guy took 1 year off from the entertainment industry. And it was the year they switched over from film to digital, and he was lost because he only knew film and all that. And that was the year the switch happened.
That's terrible. That's the worst luck.
So, Brett, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're going to get Paris to run for money on our #1 rated show since we've started the studio. I can't thank you enough for everything you're going to be doing to help with the event, to be a part of the event.
Absolutely.
The performance, man. I can't thank you enough. I'm so excited to see you perform and see what you're working on, man. You give me goosebumps just thinking about what you can do and where you're going, man. I'm proud.
Thank you, man. It really means a lot from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate all the support and you reaching out and this all be coming together. And I really support what you guys are doing too. Like I said, we talked a lot about it when we met up that day. But I'm telling you that I really believe the message behind what you guys are doing, the purpose behind what you guys are doing, as far as for the right to the content creators and everything. And the event, I think, is going to be super successful, and I can't wait for it to go, and I'm going to bring my A game.
And where can everyone find your stuff? I already told them conscious716.com and at conscious_716 on Twitter. But what else do you have going on? Let us know. Tell us everything where they can find you and follow and tweet and subscribe. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. First off, I want to just quickly again shout out Evermore Athletics and Heady Instrumentals for helping me out on the back end for the dope apparel and the production on the instrumentals. Conscious716.com is the home base for everything conscious related to music related. Sign up to the email list to keep up to date with all the news. If you have a preference, I'm on Apple Music, Spotify, iTunes, all the good stuff to go and find that. Music videos are on YouTube. You can find it by Conscious 716 on any of those platforms, and you'll find my ugly face and the music behind it.
Brett, the last thing I want to say is that, no bullshit, you're the quintessential example of the artist that we're trying to build this machine for, to support that. The artists that have all the talent, the ingenuity, and the work ethic to run their own show, to build all the things that they need to build, but they need that financial support, that machine, that infrastructure that's not ripping them off, so they can be their own boss and do all the things that they need to do to deliver that, man. So I can't thank you enough for what you stand for, what you're doing, what you've built for yourself, because that's the exact type of artist that this whole machine is I'm pushing it forward to exist for, is to serve people like you and I.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, and power to everything you guys are doing, and I'm grateful to be a part of it. And everyone, shout out to Gratwick. Support this event any way you guys can. It's going to be worth it. They're going to be broadcasting the event, so anyone that can't make it, they're making it just as dope for anyone that can check it out online. It's going to be a crazy event. They're thinking outside the box on every aspect of this, trust me. So check out guys, and I'm so excited. I'm super excited and pumped. Thank you guys so much for having me.
All right, Brett, can't wait to see you next month, man. Have a good one.
Take care, guys.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
All right, everyone. That was Brett, Conscious 716. Awesome. Super awesome.
I told you.
Do
this.
I need to turn that off?
Yeah, there you
Okie
go.
dokie.
I told you this guy was amazing.
So cool.
I get goosebumps thinking about what he can do with his career.
Wow,
and
another
all
man
that.
gave you goosebumps.
So think about it. With the proper support and the
Brett.
proper infrastructure, this is the type of talent I'm talking about that's in Western New York. They have the work ethic. They just need the model around them that allows them to do the best work without being exploited. There is a wealth of talent in that community that just needs to be supported properly, and I can't wait to put this kid on stage and let everybody see him roll.
I think it's awesome that he's had so much support, too. Because a lot of times when you're not in a major city where this is an industry that everyone has shoved in their face, excuse me, a lot of times family and friends, especially people closest to you, they want you to just be able to survive. They don't want you to do anything that might risk you ever needing to borrow money, and that kind of thing, ever taking a longer time to get to success in what their eyes of success is. But when you have family and friends who see that you are actually doing something you love and something you're good at, that's amazing when they're willing to embrace it. And like he was talking about how he had a producer who discovered him and is now helping him. That is wonderful. So many people don't get those opportunities, and that's one of the things we want to help. When you have this desire, when you have this drive, when you actually want it for real, we want to be there to be able to help in any way that we can.
The difference between me growing up in the 90s and somebody like Brett growing up in the 2000s in Buffalo is a testament to what YouTube has done to change the culture, to expose everyone to the content creating and storytelling and all that type of stuff. Growing up in Buffalo, in my generation, there was no YouTube. There was nothing like that. Nobody was making stuff in the streets. Nobody was creating stuff. There was no. I mean, we had friends that wanted to play football and throw the ball around and do all of those things. You don't have that anymore. So in a lot of ways, I feel grateful to have had those experiences. But those experiences have been traded for what YouTube has exposed everyone to in a different form of collaboration. Rather than beating the hell out of each other in the backyard over sports, people found out they can indulge their creativity and the things that have been inspired from that. The doors have opened for people. The relationships that have been built from that, because people all have kind of that same love for YouTube and content sharing and all of that, that they explored how to go down those roads, is something I admire greatly. And I joke all the time that I'm the first millennial, but I really feel that way. I really feel like a big chunk of my life was waiting around for the tools and the technology to be invented to allow people to do it themselves, to allow people to control their own destinies. And that's something. I got a little Emily's Corner graphic up top there if you want to pop it up for her. Yeah, there you go.
We're getting a little Emily's Corner starting here. We're just going to cut off Chris because, I'm tired of hearing him. I want to talk to Emily. Make it come back.
But that was.
Why did it come back?
I think it's got to refresh there. That was something to me that is completely underrated about the impact that YouTube has had on society.
Emily's Corner! Yeah! We got a graphic now? We need to get an intro song.
I think we're getting a little feedback on you there. And, I think we can hear ourselves a little bit. Or maybe...
But you might need that to be able to hear us. Do you need it up louder to hear us?
So my OCD is going to get split a little bit. Can you move Emily's box to the right a little bit there so it's not... There we go. Oh, bring her back. Bring her back.
This thing
boy. We're all over the place.
doesn't want to be... There.
There we go.
Ta-da!
It's accidentally covering up her Twitter handle, but that's okay for now. You got to move the Emily's Corner thing up higher.
Oh, now you're just killing me.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Great to have you on the show. How's it going?
Good.
Emily, did you get a chance to watch our interview with Brett, otherwise known as Conscious?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Watching the whole show.
What do you think of Brett?
I thought it was I was listening to his music early on.
Our speaker is being weird. 1 second. I'm gonna in and out it quick. Out.
No,
Does that make a difference?
No, we're getting a lot of feedback.
That's what.
So to avoid the feedback, Emily, Andrea and I are going to talk as little as possible here. So you take the reins and tell us what we have to look forward to next Saturday.
I think it needs to be refreshed on our side.
This I can put headphones.
Okay, I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Emily.
Hi.
So I'm super excited about our upcoming murder mystery game. And what details are you allowed to tell us now that everyone has some details? What can we discuss?
So, I know we discussed this last week. I'm going to actually give out what I very much gave out you guys. But I'm not going to let you will know after. That way, you know, everyone can kind of like get a feel of who is who just yet. Later in the week, I'm gonna be messaging about motives, suspect and killer.
Very cool.
And it's not murderer yet.
Oh, it hasn't been decided.
No, I know who I've been told them. And I'm trying to be very careful on using they and them pronouns.
I think you shouldn't tell them 5 minutes before we start.
I was actually thinking I should just do a quick message them and be like, hey, by the way, you're the murderer. Have fun with it.
Okay, so give us the rundown. How is
So we have Luna Lavender, who is the Forgotten, is their, I guess, character description. Luna Lavender, she's sophisticated, formal, she loves sparkly things, she's rich, but she's losing her money because of the victim. I guess, well, let me say who the victim is. Is an up-and-coming star, huge ego, but down as boxing. Kind of like a valley girl.
You know who that is?
And so...
I know who that is.
Yes. Yes, I know who the victim is, I know who the murderer is.
No, not the victim and the murderer. Can you tell us who each of the characters are? Like, who's...
You want me to tell you?
Well, are we going to know either way?
You want me to tell you? Well, you'll find out during the thing. I can tell you now.
You're gonna ruin the game!
Okay. I was excited to know who everybody was coming.
That's the whole point of getting
Man. Yeah, secret. So Roxy Rainbow is pretty much stealing Luna Lavender's thunder. She's becoming the forgotten. We have Caleb Crimson, who is a southerner. He likes to use, even if they don't make sense in the sentence.
So he likes to facilitate big words, huh?
He likes to sound.
Y'all, he's going to facilitate some big words.
Is that what you said? It cut out so we didn't get to hear. He likes to use, and then when he
likes
talks,
to inappropriately use big words.
He could use lots of swear words. You don't know.
I do know.
Yeah.
Oh. Secrets, man.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
He's Roxy's Hollywood agent.
Alright.
And then, so that's how. So we have Roxy's Roxy's rival. We have Roxy's agent, and then we have Roxy's father, Thomas Tangerine. And yes, I had a lot of fun. Thomas Tangerine is a simple things professor, but he lost somehow. And but he is Roxy's father. We have who's Roxy's friend. She's bubbly, so I'm hoping this person, to be like, Roxy is my friend. Like, I want her to go, like, over the top, and I think she will. And she laughs inappropriately. I'm expecting the person dies. She's just, like, awkward person.
Siobhan, don't be pedantic.
Chris is the worst secret.
If I was the Crimson guy, I would probably write a list of big words to try to inappropriately use throughout the night and check them each off.
I think he'll be able to do that just fine.
Then we have. Oh yeah, well there's nine of us. So we got a few more. We have Georgia Gold, who is Roxy's assistant. She's a smoker, ex-convict, retired.
This Roxy person's really the center of the universe, huh?
It's a Hollywood story, baby.
Gee, I'm guessing you're right.
No.
The smoker. I think it's Harvey from Mrs. Doubtfire. So I'm hoping that they'll kind of get that raspy.
The guy who put the face mask on him, right? Boys like this.
What?
Is that the one?
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Bane.
Emily, are you watching the Gratcast while talking to us?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm watching you on my screen.
Like I'm
looking at my notes.
Oh, okay. No, I was just trying to get to the bottom of the feedback there. We'll have to hammer that out for next episode.
Anyway.
I don't know.
Oh, you guys are just talking to Emily. Alright.
Okay.
So yes, next. Who else do we have?
Oh.
No, disc. Oh no. Okay. Hey, we're gonna take a quick pause. I'm gonna try and refresh our browser. Maybe that's... It could be. I mean, it happened a little bit after we were talking to Brett for a little while. Maybe. I'm just gonna refresh it.
I think it's either the internet connection or the feedback is just weighing down the bandwidth on that side.
No,
we'll have to
feedback.
Ever use headphones next week, and
there's no feedback.
There's definitely feedback. Like each time each one of us speak, I hear it, dude.
I'm gonna click off there. We're getting back to Emily's corner. Someone will know, and I'm guessing everyone else is also hearing skippity skips. Nobody likes that. All right, close out of that, and then. All right, try and call us back if you can.
You can take the Emily's corner graphic off the screen there. I gotta work on that and make sure it's recentered. Yeah, but I got OCD on alignment issues.
Emily.
Oh, she was up and down.
Here we go. Oh, do we got you back? Do we got her back? Do we got her back? Oh, I see you. Do you see us, hear us? Oh, I see you. Oh.
Well.
Okay.
I hear you.
We're back.
We're back. All right. Okay. So we had just gotten to the best friend. Who is the smoker? Best friend, correct?
Okay. Who is the smoker?
Okay. And more details on the smoker?
Okay. So yeah.
More details on the smoker and she's the killer.
Okay. So this Roxy's assistant is Georgia. Smoker, ex-convict, really old, needs to retire, raspy voice, and forgets things a lot. I kind of was thinking, like, for the raspy voice, I can't think of his name, but the one from Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
No. It is an Independence Day too.
He always plays a very
I think it's Harvey, but I'm not sure. What?
He always plays a very flamboyant character.
No.
Can't think
And my frozen is E's frozen, because you're frozen me.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
We're frozen. Can you hear us? No? Can't even hear?
Should I refresh? Hello?
We can still hear you, but yeah. Let's refresh again. Everyone refresh.
You guys are like freezing.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're gonna try one more time on refreshing.
We're definitely gonna have to get that ironed out because like Brett's was clear and all of that, so it has to be something with either the internet connection or the device there
Let's
on
try
that
one
side.
more time.
But we definitely gotta do headphones next week because the feedback is definitely
It's just so weird.
adding to the issue. What's
Because it's just her watching us on here.
it's
so it shouldn't.
yeah, but it's I'm guessing because doesn't she live in like Nebraska or somewhere? So she's probably on a cell phone. It's got tough cell phone connection with internet. And so if she's doing it through her internet or through her cell phone connection, it's probably struggling to keep a strong signal and reception.
All right. We see you. Come on.
Emily, are you on your phone? Go.
Can you see us?
Yeah,
There's always got to be something that's just so close.
Okay, it's gonna have to be sorted out on the side there. So
Can you hear us, Emily?
yeah, we can't keep doing that to our listeners. So going forward, we'll have to see what kind of device that she's using and sort that out on the right. Because we now know that Brett's connection was flawless, so we'll just have to figure it out with Emily what we got to do to get her on a Brett level. I'm guessing she's on a cell phone signal, and if we get her on the Wi-Fi or on a hardwired situation, will probably be a lot stronger connection. But if she's gonna be a weekly guest, we gotta iron that out and make sure that we've got a clear connection there for that. Andrea, we are.
Hey, guess what? Next Saturday we are live streaming our murder mystery night.
Do we know what time we're starting that at yet?
I believe what was decided was that 9 o'clock Eastern was the best time because people were still getting home at like.
What is Sam gonna be able to roll with that?
I believe she is, because that would make it 8 o'clock her time, 6 o'clock our time.
She's in Florida.
Yeah, isn't she central?
Florida's not central.
Oh, all right.
No.
Then right now,
It's got shore on the eastern seaboard there.
Well, I mean,
it's about as east as it gets.
There's also a shore on Texas, but that's not eastern. I mean, let's just start getting into where water is.
It's not at the Atlantic Ocean shore. It's not the eastern seaboard. The old eastern seaboard.
All right. Well, we're still working on that a little bit, then on getting it figured out, because some people have things going on up until the evening, other people have things going on in the afternoon.
Yeah, I knew.
It's going to be fun. We're going to get it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be live streamed on all of our normal Gratcast platforms, including the Gratwick Gaming channels, because this is
a game.
It is a game.
It will be a game. It is a game created by Emily, which we greatly appreciate, even though Discord is being a butt munch.
All right, dear.
Or fam, I guess, not Discord. So we have a couple.
Do we have Discord questions?
We do.
Oh boy, I gotta queue up. Gotta queue up the Discord question.
Come here. Sam wants to know, when are we gonna start filming something? She's ready to be a PA if we need extra hands.
Well, Sam, if all goes well with the Night to Inspire event,
on May 10th,
we will be introducing 4 projects that will be produced and made in Western New York. And I would hope that you would want to be more than a PA on at least one of those projects.
I believe you're more than qualified. Yeah.
I mean, at least an associate producer at the least there, Sam. Could trump up that resume there and get you.
Oops, scaring the dog.
Bear! Bear!
Scaring the dog. Oh, I know.
Oh boy,
knocking over
the whole set's falling apart. So yes, Sam. As soon as I'm back on a set, you're going to be on my set at the very least. So that's the best answer I can give for you. But I've been busting my ass for 8 years to get myself back on set. So let's get there together.
So we have 2 questions about you and me.
Oh,
First one.
See, she's in Nebraska. She's gonna win the internet. I knew it. I called it. The sticks.
You know,
Emily's called from the sticks.
I don't think we get to blame Nebraska or the wind. I think we.
Emily did.
Emily, don't apologize for things that are out of your control, my dear.
That's 1
that
for Buffalo.
Fine.
0 for Nebraska.
We will get it, hun. We will.
Buffalo 1, Nebraska 9.
So, Chris.
Next question.
With so much going on at the launch party, the sponsor outreach, all the meetings and travel, has it been hard to manage your work and home life?
Home life?
You know, the difference between.
What is home life, dear? Much like Brett said,
an answer.
I've tried many times to kind of narrow everything in, but the thing is, once you get good things going, they build momentum and they open other doors, and they create other leads, and they create other opportunities, and you got to facilitate the buzzword of the episode. You've got to facilitate those leads and those opportunities, and follow them wherever they may go. And
I mean, that's an interesting side for your work life, but what about your home life?
And again, like the musician and the filmmaker, like you can't, when you're a person that tunes in inspiration, you can't narrow down the frequencies. You got to take that all in. You can't just say, I don't want that inspiration. I'm going to take this inspiration and roll with it. So, no. But balancing the two at this point in time is non-existent. For the next 45 days leading up to launch, it's all day, all the time. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, this is obviously my girlfriend and the love of my life, in addition to my business partner and all.
He says that now, but remember, he was not going to dress up for me, as he said last week. He's not dressing up for me.
I don't dress up for anybody because I stay true to myself.
Except we are expecting a May 10th. Not everyone. If you expect classic Hollywood attire from the ladies, we expect to see the fancy suits from them.
Unless there's reasons to get my Southern Crimson on.
Worst secret keeper.
I don't dress up. So where I was going with this and where my point is that we have sacrificed so much over the last 10 years that the stakes are so high that it's all or nothing at this point in time. There's no tomorrow after the next 45 days unless we put the work in, get the grindstone, all the cliches you want to do, fight for every inch. You know, we can go every football cliche in the world right now, and
Chris knows them all, people.
It's our championship, dear. We got to take it one day at a time, one game at a time, and you can only play the teams that are on your schedule. And right now our schedule's packed, and we gotta rock and roll, as Caleb would say. Yeah. Did I facilitate your answer properly?
So
I need more than one big board for Saturday.
How do you plan on spending the weekend after the Night to Inspire? Are you going to relax, or is it right back to the grind?
The last time we were in a similar situation, we had a crazy, wacky idea of let's turn our phones off for the whole following weekend. And when we finally turned them back on, we turned them back on to chaos. So I think this time I'm going to stay a little more plugged in. And to be honest, if all goes well with the event and the launch and all that stuff, there's going to be a 90-day marathon that comes right after that we're going to have to continue to push for that 90 days.
So there's no relaxing.
But
May 11th, we're up at 8 a.m.
And if those 90 days go well, there's going to be 4 projects now that got to be made. And we're going to go right in on those projects.
But, I mean, we have Sam, who's willing to help with that. I mean, Emily will help, right? Siobhan will help. If we totally have the help, we can get Kels and Jared to come on out with all the kids, the family.
If all goes well,
come on.
From this moment forward, we'll never have a private life again. It'll all just, go. Next project. Go. Next project.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what you signed up for, babe. Plane's going to take you away if you don't want it.
I didn't sign up for no private life again. I like home life. I like the fact that at a certain time...
You gotta earn the home life, man. We gotta earn it.
You say, no, I'm no longer in communication with anything dealing with business
beast of an itch on my face right now.
Yeah, beast of an itch.
Yeah.
So, apparently,
y'all don't want nothing to do with this itch.
There will not be relaxing.
The journey is the relaxing.
No, the journey is the hard part. The relaxing is retirement looking back.
Pitter patter, babe. Do what you love. You never work a day in your life. Pitter patter.
So we started watching a show called Letterkenny. If anyone has seen it or not seen it, you can find it on Hulu. A friend of mine recommended it, and the first episode we weren't so down with.
You have to push through at least 3 or 4 episodes.
It's
extremely obnoxious, but...
It's kind of like the beginning of any show. It's a bit rough, but it's... Or The Office. Remember when you first saw The Office with Steve Carell, and you were like,
it was great right out of the gate.
No, it wasn't. No, it really wasn't. No. But it grew on you after you understood that was supposed to be their sense of humor. Like,
Oh.
well, if you love it that much, then there you go. That's how much Chris likes Letterkenny.
The Office was great right out of the gate. If you're talking about the British version of The Office,
No, I like that one.
That never-
You mean the one that...
Ricky Gervais.
The
one?
original?
Yeah. That one definitely...
The real one?
That one definitely is a acquired taste that I have not acquired.
You don't like British stuff because you don't get their accents
Hold
all
up.
the time.
You
don't know what words they're
I did
saying.
like one British show.
It's true.
Yeah. Black Mirror.
What British...
Black Mirror. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You know how good it has to be?
Netflix took it over and it turned American quick.
Well, and it got bad quick. The first season of Black Mirror.
Oh, so you do like BBC shows because they're good content.
No. Black Mirror was
See, Emily
so
gets it. It wasn't
good.
easy the first couple ones. You kind of were like, oh.
Black Mirror was so good.
But it got better.
It overcame the British handicap.
It overcame the British handicap.
Yep.
I like British shows, but you know what else? House of Cards. That's another one we copied from the British, and that was almost copied word for word for the first couple seasons before we just decided we're going to continue even though they stopped.
The British version's pretty bad. Again, the British handicap.
Have you guys ever seen the British version of Friends? It's called Coupling.
Oh, God.
It's got about 4 seasons.
Now you're
It's
starting to name off all the reasons why I don't like British shows.
And it's got a lot of the actors on there that now you're seeing are getting into mainstream American movies, but have been huge in Britain this whole time. Coupling.
We,
definitely want to see. Yes. All right, so
we gotta start bringing this in
yeah,
for
so
a
we're gonna
landing.
go on to bullet blitzes now because those were our questions, and apparently we're never gonna stop working ever, Siobhan. Chris has decided there's no more us time.
Survival. Do what you love. You can never work a day in your life. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna be coming up with my bullet blitzes on the fly.
All right, I got mine though.
All right. Boom, boosh, psh. Gotta
So
get
in
my damn
Japan,
sound effect back.
every new emperor gets to name the new imperial era when they will be starting. And the new one is the Reiwa. I probably didn't pronounce it correctly. Reiwa. R-E-I-W-A. And it means order and harmony. I love it. It's wonderful. So, if you got to pick what the new era of Chris would be, what would it be called?
Is this kind of like the Year of the Dragon?
Kind of.
So am I coming up with the Year of the Dragon, or like the Year of the Animal, or am I coming up with the
It's
era?
kind of like your overall, this is how you would like it to be. They would like order and harmony, as opposed to what they've had with problems in the past. What would you like?
The era of Fire and Brimstone? I don't know.
I'm going for transcendence. I'd like us all to transcend above what we currently are at, which is very petty and
have a great awakening?
entitled and selfish, and I'd like everyone to transcend to a point where we are all one together.
No.
What?
Oh, I'm just talking to the far people out there that coded languages, dear, coded languages. You were talking about a great awakening. I was making references of asking a question, but don't worry about the question.
Okay. Well, I'll transcend above that, and cool.
Not without
I don't
great
mind you
awakening,
interrupting me over and over.
I'm not interrupting. I'm adding interjections into the dialogue. That's the whole point of the show, is to talk about things and add little interjections that add humor to it. That's the banter.
Cool. So you're fire and brimstone, and I'm transcending. Sweetness.
Well, you gotta burn it all down before you can rise like Phoenix.
As we found out with the creek fires last year, because everything is beautiful and green now after we've had all of our rains, which it wouldn't have been if it was still all dead from last year. So yay.
I'm a Phoenix, y'all.
Space. I haven't seen Spaced.
Okay.
I'll see that one.
My bullet blitz would be...
Yes?
Would you rather act in a music video or a soap detergent commercial?
Commercial. Totally in a commercial. You get more lines and you get paid more, especially if it goes national. National! If you act in a music video, you have no lines. You are technically an extra. And you might, if you're a chick, wind up being one of those girls who, let's just say, you'll be happy when you're 70 and you look back and see what you once looked like.
Depends what kind of music video you're
But it might...
Worked well for Alicia Silverstone.
Yep. At 14, it's a very good thing. Aerosmith did not decide to do a little too much, but she did make out with Steven Dorff.
We hope.
But either way, they didn't try and use a minor in a different form or role on the music video to make her too sexy. She was 14.
She wasn't in the I'm Too Sexy video. She was in the Aerosmith video.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said she was too sexy. For her
I said I was glad that they didn't
too sexy
use
for the
a
Aerosmith
young
video?
person in a sexy position because that's creepy and wrong.
Too sexy for Aerosmith video.
Yep. Okie dokie. What?
That was my book
What would
list.
you rather?
I would rather be in the music video. Did you ever see the Fresh Prince episode where the Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil go away for the weekend and Will Smith rents out the mansion to Belle Biv DeVoe to shoot a music video in
Yes.
there? And they all the whole episode they're trying to get in the music video. They're trying to dance down the stairs in the video. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm just trying to get to the kitchen. Then they ask frickin' Jazzy, "What are you doing?" I was trying to be in the music video. That'd be me.
All right. Okay, so my next one is serious. So do you have one that's not serious?
Should I not have a serious one to go with your serious one?
I don't know. Mine's kind of serious.
Well, so I didn't know mine had to be based on... Am I counting yours or my
I don't know. Do we
yours?
want to end with a sad, serious one, or do you have something that might be a happier note?
How about I read the room on yours?
Oh, read the room of two.
And I come up with an appropriate one
room of two.
to bring it back to even wherever we end up on yours.
Okay.
Let's get serious. Serious.
So this has to do with something that's been in the news recently.
Y'all.
And it is...
Winning.
Not really in this story, but cool. You'll see in just a second.
Uh-oh.
The decision that came down from the court about the online gamer who thought he was swatting another player that he was in an argument with from Call of Duty, and which resulted in someone else's address was given to the kid who swatted, and the police went to someone's house and shot them when they answered the door. The gamer went to trial and has been charged with 20 years in prison for making a false report, which then resulted in someone dying. My question to you,
Okay.
do you think that's an appropriate sentence considering he didn't pull the trigger and he made a false call that resulted in police shooting someone who was just answering his front door?
Your negligent, malicious actions led to somebody else's death that would have never happened without your negligent, malicious actions.
And what about the person who
Absolutely.
gave him that address?
Well,
Are they an accessory because they gave an address of anyone? And just like the kid.
Hold on,
also
you're
anyone.
acting like crazy guy. You think I'm going to give you my real address? No? Like,
But he gave someone's address. He didn't give a made-up address. He didn't look it up to make sure there was no one there wasn't even a house. It was just
but do you
an
know
empty lot.
that he gave somebody...
How do you know he didn't? How do you know he didn't know that
There's no way to
person,
prove he gave somebody else's address intentionally and just didn't pull an address out of his ass. There's only so far you can go.
But what about his action, giving an address but having no accountability for who he was actually sending the SWAT to get? Like,
obviously the person that gave
that one.
No, the person that gave the address wasn't saying, "Hey, swap me here." He was probably like, "I'm gonna come kick your ass." Okay, show up here. This is my address, and just gave him some dumb address out of his ass. Now, if he knew the other guy was going to do some dumb shit, and he intentionally gave him somebody else's address to go do dumb shit to that guy, well, then...
That is actually the case, is they were online. He said, "You don't like me? Swap me, swap me." The guy who went on trial said, "All right, give me your address." And the dude gave him an address. So he called, he swatted. I'm not saying it's good in any way, but isn't the person who gave an address... who knew that it could be someone else? How is he not also morally responsible?
You want to make that argument, you can make the same argument that Sony should be responsible for facilitating... Oh, there's that word again! Holy shit, I'm not even trying. For facilitating the ability for these two idiots to talk to each other in the first place. Then I can go to the game developer for, I don't know what, making the game in such a way where one was better than the other one that created this dispute in the first place. it ends with the person that initiated the action, and that's the person that called and reported a false crime.
And let's look at it one other way. You're at your own house. You have nothing to do with it whatsoever. You go to answer your door, and it's not the police saying put your hand up, but you literally get shot the moment your door is open. What about that? Like, the police aren't in trouble at all for literally a person opening their door and they just started shooting.
I don't want to open the Pandora's box of the police shooting somebody that clearly didn't have a weapon and clearly wasn't a threat. I don't know enough of the details to make that argument, but the whole swatting thing in the first place, if the cops aren't pulling a trigger until they see a gun or they're shot at, which the rules of engagement in a foreign country is you have to be shot at first. Not I see a gun, you have to be shot at first. Why are the rules of engagement for cops less than they are in a war zone? Let's have that conversation. You've got an army behind you with the SWAT team, and you've got to shoot one dude in his house the second you see him. Like, there's umpteen layers of responsibility here. It's just the sign of the times on ignorance and hair triggers all over the place.
Do you think the police should get some sort of punishment?
I think every time the police kill somebody without being fired upon themselves, there should be consequences for that. If you're wrong, I don't care if you thought he was pulling out a gun and he made a motion with a cell phone. You want to blow him away? You better be right. If you're wrong, there needs to be consequences. It's simple as that. This should be very cut and dry on these accidental police shootings. There's just, again, we can solve this problem in a war zone, but we can't solve it in our own country.
So like I said, my topic was a little heavy, a little deep.
Oh,
sorry.
Mine's about to get heavy.
Oh, Chris thought one up too, just to match me.
Mine's about to get heavy in a whole nother kind of way.
Okie dokie, heavy it.
Or maybe it's about to get high in a whole nother kind of way.
Lift it.
If you had to choose between one of two journeys and you would not come back from either journey...
Isn't that life?
Which one would you choose? A journey to Mars or a journey to Orion's belt where people suspect that there is a possibility that humanity may have came from Orion's belt? Which one would you go to? And I'll even add in, when you get there, you can land on one planet, Mars, or a planet in Orion's belt, and walk around in a breathable atmosphere to explore. Which one would you want to explore?
Orion's belt. Mars is too close to the sun. It's way too hot. Don't want that. No. That's very easy.
They say it's pretty cold there.
Yeah, it's too close to the sun. Too bright. No, I don't like it bright color. I don't.
Okay.
No. You?
I would also choose Orion's belt, but I would not choose the same planet as you.
You remember how he said I was the love of his life and all
that? Well, I mean, if you're looking at that one,
like you all to remember this.
You gotta cover more. You gotta cover more ground. That's all.
Hey Emily, do you want to come to my planet, or do you want to go to Chris's planet? Because apparently we're drawing lines in the belt.
There's technically 3 stars there, so there's probably anywhere from 3 to 9 planets going around each one of those stars. There's enough for everybody.
I'd like everyone to know. This is when you all knew Chris had plans. Secret plans. The murder mystery night right there. He's disclosing that he's running away to other planets.
Y'all are going to love the murder mystery night at 6 p.m. on Friday.
Saturday.
Saturday.
What's he doing,
6
people?
p.m. on Saturday.
6 p.m. Pacific?
It's always Pacific when you're talking Gratcast, unless we're on the Eastern.
Except that you were talking about the event,
but that's
and you said it in Eastern time, mofo.
Because we'll
even
be
though it's
on
live
Eastern,
streaming.
We will be on... The time zone is based on where we will be when that time is relevant. That is how it works. That's how you avoid the East Coast bias of saying everything East Coast time, because they just think they're better than everybody. Forget the East Coast bias.
Yes! Xbox on my planet. Oh yeah.
Emily.
Oh yeah.
If you want Planet Search together, once again, if you had a PlayStation, we could play No Man's Sky together, and we could explore the entire galaxy.
Or if you had an Xbox and knew how to use the big remotes.
No.
Which is weird because your hands are bigger than girls, so shouldn't it be easier to hold?
It's not just, it's the offset sticks. The offset sticks. It's like trying to rub your belly and your head at the same time and go in opposite directions. It's not humanly possible to go clockwise with one hand and counterclockwise with the other hand. That's what it feels like trying to walk the extra sticks.
You tap your head.
No.
You tap your head. It's tap the head, rub the belly. Tap the head, rub the belly. Tap the head, rub the belly.
I apologize for nothing. Do we have anything else left in this show?
I believe that is everything.
All right, next week.
Emily and I are going to be having our own Orion.
I want to thank Brett Conscious 716 for being on the show today.
Yes, thank you, Brett.
Follow this dude, listen to his music, buy his music, and come to the event and see him perform. This is
Conscious 716.
This is one of our own that's going to be a star. Second, I would like to say next week's guest is going to be Dan Gambino with Code Socks and Codes Media. We should have some more interesting announcements for the event coming up. Every week between now and the event, except for April 15th, Andrea books a non-event relevant person. What?
I'd like to change it.
Are you going to put
you guys want to know who's coming up in April?
Yeah, pop them up here.
That's who we're having in April.
Dan Gambino.
Code Socks, Will Sun with Curate Cannabis. This is not a spell cannabis, cannabis. That's different. Ernie, he's comedian.
Don't worry about that spelling.
We're going to have YA-WNY come on the last week of April, right before we're heading out to Buffalo for the May 10th event.
I'm going to put an asterisk next to YA-WNY for April 29th. That's a TBD because they don't know yet that they're going to be on April 29th. We got to reach out and talk to them and see if they're available for the 29th. If it won't, it'll probably be the following week. But
next week, we might have cannabis spelled correctly, too. Something that I've heard people in the East Coast are also having become...
Maybe our graphic designer was high at the time that they made the graphics and didn't see the letters properly.
Work ethic.
Yeah. Maybe it was exhaustion from never taking a break. Who knows?
There you go. All right, everybody.
This shit, I'm out.
Oh, I missed this song last week.
No thanks, don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened.